I just want to do a review on A Christmas Carol story that everyone knows about, but I'm happy to be doing my favourite version now. This is just a review of the old story, but my favourite out of all of them, the George C. Scott version. I don't need to explain the story because everybody knows the story. But this version happens to be my favourite. I mean, his other versions is Patrick Stewart. The Alastair Sim version is probably my second favourite. But the first, the best, out of all of them in my opinion, is the George C. Scott version. I mean, George C. Scott and the rest of the actors in it just do an amazing job. I mean, like I said, the other versions are good. Patrick Stewart version's okay, good. Alastair Sim version's superb. But this version for me is the best. I mean, a lot like the Alastair Sim version are best because it come out before this one in the 50s, I think. A lot say that one's super and that one's the best, but for me the George C. Scott version is super and this version is the best in my opinion. I like the Alastair Sim version, don't get me wrong, but the George C. Scott version is the best. And this version in my opinion is more darker than the Alastair Sim version and more realistic. And for me this version is the best, and this is a version I grew up with anyway, because I'm an 80s kid. I was born in the 80s, so this is a version I grew up with. But yeah, out of all the stories, all good like I said, but George C. Scott version is the best, my opinion. And I remember that when I was a kid at high school, I actually played Scrooge, so the old story of Christmas Carol and Scrooge brings back great memories from my school days, and remember when I was a kid watching this, when I was only a youngster myself. So yeah, this is just a review, but the old Christmas Carol series, all the versions are great, but George C. Scott version's the best, and if anybody's not seen it, I know most have, but this is the version I'd recommend over the others, the George C. Scott version. And the second best would probably be Alastair Sim, but George C. Scott version is the best, no doubt. Okay, thanks.